Not technically, but we are recording. I've got with me today is Talon, and Talon has with him today is that's me, and that's Ryan.
That's right. Glad to
And
be here,
then
man.
we have with us today, we have zero Jareds.
Zero Jareds.
Zero Jareds, he's asleep or something, making dinner at, what is it, 10:30. And I do need to let the date be known because we are playing a early access game. So this is not a finished product. This is called Brighter Shores. And as you can see, it is by Andrew, I want to say Gower. It's November 6th at the time of this recording. And this game's been out today since like 4 a.m. in most regions. And I got a chance to play it today. Got through it a little bit, but we're gonna make a new character just to kind of show off the intro here. You can see that I've got a character made, and I've got 5 hours ago I was playing, and I was level 69. But that's like a total level. Seems like a high level for one day, but it combines all your levels. Just like if you're a fan of Andrew Gower's last game, you're familiar with RuneScape. You're used to the total level thing where you're like level 365, but then your combat level is like 30 or something. But
Oh, I did not know that. So is
yeah,
this game like RuneScape?
it has a lot of similarities, but I will say they are two entirely different beasts. I kind of came into it kind of hoping, not gonna lie, hoping for a like old school RuneScape 2.0.
Yeah.
And I'll say it is not that. There are definitely some similarities that one would be like, hey, they kind of took this from RuneScape if, you didn't know it was Andrew Gower. Look at that worried guy. Oh, yeah. They give you some options. You can't spend the character, which is really annoying, but they give you like a mirror on his back so you can see the back,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
is, I don't know, it's like a bit of I don't know. If you can't spin them, then put a mirror on their back. I don't think that's a good answer. Just spin them. Just let me spin them.
Yeah. I want to be able to see all sides. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need a
But,
360. But yeah.
if you read on the Steam page, they did say like they're in early access. They plan on coming out of early access in 6 months, which I think would be a record-breaking early access time.
Yeah, no kidding.
Um, don't think I've ever seen a game come out of early access in 6 months. I mean, obviously there probably has been. I just haven't played every early access game or looked up everything. But I could also go this way, or I could go random. Why was I just using random? We'll do a Linguini.
Linguini. Nice. Love it.
When in doubt, go pasta. The humor in the game is very RuneScape type humor. You can tell it's probably just Andrew Gower's sense of humor.
Hmm.
Um, you can just kind of say some off the wall stuff, really kind of just cheesy humor.
Yeah.
Um, but the game is pretty clean, so it's a game I would say for all ages. So at least there's that. But you can see it's grid based, and
I
RuneScape
do
really
see
is
that. Yeah.
too. RuneScape just kind of hides the grid more, or tries to hide the grid, but it is on a grid. Um, this game just kind of makes the grid very obvious for, I guess the aesthetic of the game. But you get
Yeah.
quests. All the whole game can be played with the mouse. You don't need your left hand at all, or if you're left-handed, you don't need your right hand at all. You can zoom, and you with the middle mouse wheel, you left click to spin, or you can use the arrow keys. You can't use WASD, and there's no option to change the controls that I can find. There's a full screen. I do currently have a premium pass. It was $6, so I thought I'd just try it just to kind of get a feel for all the features.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
got pretty good privacy settings where you can just kind of ignore people. You can enter your birth date, which allows you to accept friends or like change your settings for friends and stuff. All the menus are like hidden on the sides. Like you got this arrow key on the side, and then later on I'll have an arrow key. If I put that, I think if I put that my birth date in, it gives you a arrow key down here for your chat. Um, and like friends list and stuff. But you do have an emote thing you can do. Some other stuff will pop up on the HUD as I move along. But you pretty much right now just follow these dialogue bubbles. He is asking me to talk to this guy to unlock magic spells. So we're getting access to guard magic, which is going to give us access to spells. So far, there's no spells for combat. Haven't seen anything. It's all just kind of utility stuff. So you can click your spells up here, and this is like your spell book. Right now we have none, but at least we unlocked that. We do have a pretty good map. It's one of the better maps I've seen in MMOs. As we move around, it will unlock, but you can fix it to north, or you can fix it for the direction that you're facing with the camera, which is nice. I like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, that is nice.
And it gives you all the detail you need to know. Like there's your portal stone. This is like the office here, but it'll give you like where shops are or like important NPCs. Up here is your quest list, and you can see the main story. You can click on these words in blue. It'll pop up on your mini map if you've discovered it and just show you where to go. But so we need to go to the quartermaster. He's giving me a spell right now. If you ask him for a spell, he will actually give you a spell to access your quartermaster bank, which is back in this corner right here. And it's a new spell in your inventory, and you can cast it from anywhere and access your equipment. You can only put gear in here, like chest pieces, leggings, swords, shields, stuff like that. You can't put ingredients or potions and stuff in there.
Okay.
But you can access that from anywhere with that spell. Then we're going to ask him for some guard equipment. We're going to get a sword. And here it's going to explain backpack items. We just click it and we equip it. But I'll pull up the this is, you can click info. It pulls up your weapon like card. Shows you the stats, but this little muscle thing is the damage that you do. This represents the element that it does. It'll be a percent, and it'll show you like with a symbol what element it is. And if it's a, like, say it's this yellow symbol, which is basically electricity. I can't remember the name, what they call it, something strange, but I think it's tempest is what they call it for electricity damage.
Hmm.
And it'll be like 30%, say, and that means you have a 30% chance to deal that element's damage instead of your physical damage. So if it were going to deal 20 damage when you hit somebody, it would instead deal 20 electrical damage. And if the enemy is immune to electrical damage, it will not deal any damage. So you want to make sure your weapons are equipped for the enemy you're facing. And he's going to teach me the sense spell, which it's kind of in two places. We got one up here where we can click it from our spell book. We can hit sense. It'll kind of highlight everyone's names or any objects we can interact with.
Okay.
But it's also down here on the bottom right. So you can just click this, and also Control S, which I just now learned by mousing over it for more than a second. Okay. So we're all training to be recruits, and now the city's under attack by some goblins. Pretty creative stuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to get the ball rolling, you know?
Yeah. There's definitely some really cool ideas and concepts with this game, especially it's just a chill game. Like it's not stressful. You just kind of do your thing. Bit of like
I was going to say, it definitely seems like a game that seems like you could really like spend your time, like take your time with it and spend a lot of time with
yeah.
this
I mean,
game.
there's a lot to do. They make some really strange choices, and we'll get into that later. That I don't know if I agree with. I just don't see their vision or like what they're going for exactly. So it's hard for me to be like,
Okay.
that's a bad idea. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Right now, the guard wants me to get these recruits in order to get to the fight. She's missing her bow, so we're going to go in here and help her find her bow, even though she's just standing there doing absolutely nothing. You can investigate and ask these guys where the bow was if you want, or you can just watch what I do and click search on this bed and you'll find it. So quest items immediately, they don't go into your inventory. They just go into a separate inventory for that specific quest. So this tells me that there are 2 quest items for this, and I have one of them. So you'll get other quests like this where there's like 10 slots, and there's a lot of items to gather for that quest. We got to convince these two also to go and fight. So we'll search this trunk. We'll get some copper. 1,000 copper makes a silver. You can just keep searching trunks all day if you wanted, because
Nice.
they do close after like a minute or so, and you can research them, which I thought was a really
Hmm.
odd choice right out the bat. Like when I
Yeah.
started playing this, I was like, oh wow, I'm just getting a ton of money, but it's actually not that much money. This is kind of a bad way to get money. But you would see here probably in like 30 seconds this chest would close, and then you can just search it again. So when you click an enemy, you'll see which enemies you can fight. You'll click attack, or you can click info, but info is going to pop up either way. And it says he attacks the fire and he's immune to fire. But we can see how our weapon here doesn't have an element anyways, so we're just going to fight with a physical sword. And you can see he's dealing fire damage to me, so you do want to, if you're going to grind killing goblins, which there's higher level goblins, you may want to equip some better fireproof gear, and that'll really give you the edge. But this is it. You're going to watch the fight unfold. I know later on you get special attacks. I haven't unlocked any yet, so I don't know what those do. I'm sure it's just like extra damage or like extra elemental damage. Um, so far, the only fights I've done are one-on-one, so I don't think specials are going to like do any kind of AoE.
Oh, okay.
So I think they're going to be pretty straightforward, but I just have to see what they do. And you can see there that I could punch with my fist as well. So you can switch weapons in a fight. You can equip up to 3 weapons, and there are other classes. I've only unlocked one other one, but I know of 2 others that do exist. So now someone's injured. We need to go get. This is where they're going to introduce potions, making potions. So you can see the map is it's an interesting take, kind of creative way to do an MMO
Yeah.
for sure. Where you can see these maps are like puzzle pieces. They connect. It really helps with the computer load because you only load in like players and NPCs that are here. So pretty much any computer can run this game. Um, it only loads this short area. You can see back here that this is loaded, but there's no activity back there. So it reduces your load on your computer. Um, it's a pretty creative way to go about it. Don't know if it's maybe the best way, but in terms of
Hmm.
making it accessible to as many people, I think it's a pretty smart move. He's going to tell us, I think, that we need to go get an herb. Yeah, so he's going to get us kelp. So we got to go to the beach, which I do know how to get there. Yeah. He's getting his butt kicked. Also, every fight you heal back to full health. So
That's
don't
nice.
worry. Yeah, don't worry about healing in between fights. As long as you're, you know, got pretty good health and you're not worried about dying from that fight, there's no reason to heal. Don't waste your health potions. Just let the
Yeah.
fight end and move on to the next one or get out of there. Um, there's also an option which we'll see later. This is kind of the tutorial, so they don't show you yet. But you can go through these doors normally, but they're locked right now during a fight.
Hmm.
But you have to cast an immunity spell, which is a spell I'll get later in my spell book. And once that spell is cast, no enemy can hurt you, and then you can walk through the door. So
Oh, okay.
this here is showing up a really weird feature in the game or mechanic. So this is one of the, I guess, biggest problems I have with the game that I'm just not quite sure how I feel about it is I'm a guard. That's my character's class, right?
Yeah.
So these are the foes I can fight. And you can see this little symbol right here. That means it's for a guard. So you have to be a guard to actually fight these enemies. And you can't right now.
Hmm.
These are the enemies that I can currently fight. That means that's what it means by current active foes. There's other enemies that are higher level. You can't actually fight those yet. Um, it will say you need to reach guard level this, or if you go to another area, which the only other class I've been yet is scout, and it'll say you need to be, you need to equip scout to fight this. And the idea is that if you're in a city, you're going to be doing guard duties. If you're out in the forest, you're not going to be doing guard duties or taking quests as a guard. You're going to be taking quests as a scout. Um, so you can only do like certain classes in certain areas and also certain professions. Like
Hmm.
you can't you'll unlock forestry when you get to the forest, but there's no way to unlock forestry in this first area. Um, and there's two different types of gathering. Like you get foragery, right? So you forage for stuff here in the city. And then when you get out to the forest, you get gathering, which is the same thing, really. I mean, you're just gathering stuff, you know, but it's two totally
Yeah.
separate stats. Um, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of annoying to get to a new area and then you've got a bunch of level 0 stats. But I mean, that's fine if they're like, extra stats are like professions, like mining, smithing, because then I can
Right.
work on those things and learn how to do new things. Um, and I can stay in those areas to level up that stuff. But you also want to be able to take that into new areas to find new things to smith. Um,
Right.
so I'm just interested in how they tackle that in the future. If they plan on keeping it really similar to what it is right now, but it's kind of frustrating to level up because you can level up. I'll pull up the profession page here. This is guard level 2, right? Um,
Hmm.
and level 0, we can fight all these enemies. So that's what I am right now.
Right.
Level 10, we can fight this. And we'll keep scrolling down, and we'll keep scrolling down, and we'll keep scrolling down, and we'll keep scrolling down until level 500. So you can see at 480 is the last enemy you actually unlock. And then 500 you get a cape, which is just like flair to prove you did it. Um, which RuneScape does too. Like RuneScape, when you like max out levels, you'll get like fire making cape and like cooking cape,
Hmm.
stuff like that, and it just shows off. But they also do have some. I think some of them have abilities to teleport to certain places. Like I think the crafting cape is one of the best ones to have because it teleports you right next to a bank. Um, I want to go this way. So this crab here, level 30, we'll discover it. It'll pop up on my discoveries now. If I try and fight it, I need to be at least level 30 guard to fight.
Mm.
Not super in love with that. Oh,
Yeah.
here's the herb. So you can use that sensibility, like I said. It'll show me things I can discover. You click it, discover it. It shows you the info about it. Creamy wall plants. So we also have a tool belt. So that rope I picked up goes to my tool belt. Um, some items are stored in tool belt instead of taking up space in your backpack. And this area displays items you have on your tool belt. You can also see your money here and containers like for crafting. So you got like potion bottles. We got buckets for carrying. Probably water, I think. Not sure what some of these others are for. And then as we can see our weapon slots here. We can hold a two-handed weapon, a one-handed weapon, and a bow. And we have
Mm.
healing potions and then potions that boost our strength. Um, I've seen strength potions that boost our elemental damage. So if you're fighting a certain type of enemy, you can gear up with the correct elemental potion to deal extra damage. He's going to want us to pop into his apothecary and use the herb I got on this. I think it's this station. This is the recipe book. It's going to show us how to make healing potions. So you can see it takes brown kelp. Use this on this prep station, and you just sit back and let him do it. He'll make all the ones that you have in your inventory, which you can hold 24 items in your inventory. So you can just
Hmm.
load up 24 of these and let him do this 24 times, and your hands off, and he'll just do it. So then we'll go back and talk to the apothecary dude, Ebsworth. And he's like, hey, you're not done. You need to go back in there and put that in a bottle. So then we go to the potion station. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just do the same thing. So hands off. So, like I said, that's like the crafting in a nutshell. You're going to go out, you're going to grab some ingredient, probably 2 ingredients sometimes. Haven't seen one that requires 3 ingredients, but I wouldn't be surprised. You combine all those stuff, you prep them at some sort of table, and then you prep them at some other station, and then you got your item you were looking for. You do the same thing with cooking. Oh, he didn't finish those. Or she didn't finish those. Oh, I need more bottles. Okay, that's why. So we will use item. I think we just do that. Okay, yeah. Drink this, and your stab wound will heal itself. The first potion you make is actually garbage. Like it takes longer. Like it takes too long to actually use the potion. By the time you finish drinking the potion, the enemy has dealt like 3 times the amount of damage you healed with that potion. So you're better off just not taking it, so you can dish out damage to catch up to them, or
Hmm.
just start teleporting out to, or casting the immunity spell so you don't die. So have me do push-ups. Going through some dialogue. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're gonna get the immunity spell here.
Nice.
And so, yeah, you'll just like you can do this mid-combat. You'll start casting this if you look like you're gonna lose a fight, and then boom, nothing can hurt you for as long as this green bar is up, um, which it goes away over time, and you heal full health. So that's nice.
Ooh, even better. That is nice.
Yeah, like I said, they make it as stress-free as possible while still including some form of combat.
Right.
So far, like dying doesn't really do anything, except put you back to the infirmary.
It definitely has. It seems like I was saying earlier, it seems like a game that you could really get lost in for a while. Like
If
really
you
put some
enjoy,
time into.
like if you enjoy these side quest kind of things, like just crafting and stuff, then I can definitely see someone enjoying it. For me, the crafting just isn't in depth enough. Like if you take a game like the Final Fantasy MMO and you look at its
Right.
crafting system, I'm gonna die in like 2 seconds in this alleyway. Okay. Okay. Um, yeah, don't go this way. Don't go this way. Actually, I think those guys don't fight you. You can see those thieves though. These guys, they're red. That means they will hit you, and I'll
Oh,
probably have to.
okay.
Yeah, but you can see that level changed. He's level 4, and one of them
Yeah,
he's level 22 because the person fighting him is level 22.
is level
So
22. Okay, I
yeah, so
gotcha.
here's the crows. These will change to level 16 crows if a character level 16 starts fighting them. So you can see now it's level 16 because he's level
Yeah.
16. So here is
So
the.
is that a mechanic that you like? Because so it's like it
I like
levels with
I
your
like it and I
character.
don't. It's kind of an excuse to condense the map. Um and it doesn't it allows less exploration because it's like, oh, now I can fight this new enemy. I just got to go back to the city, to that area where I fought the old crows. It's like it could be, a new enemy in a new area, which is more exciting. Um than
Right.
the same looking enemy, just slightly different color, and he's tougher. He doesn't have any new moves. Um, no new strategy to fight him. From what I can understand, the elemental stuff is the same. It may be different with some enemies.
Yeah, scaling system. It's
It's a
tough
creative
because
way. I just don't know if it's the best. It's a creative like
yeah,
problem solving method to kind of like save time and money in your development
yeah,
of your game, which is a smart move with
yeah.
like 12 people. Um,
Hmm.
but it does feel um, a little watered down um, that way, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Well, yeah. Not only that, and I agree with you, but it's also like one of the best parts about excuse me is when you do level up and you get really strong. Part of the fun is when you go back to an area you've been and you just like start destroying everything. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, and
So
you've
it's like
got
if
that
everything
option.
just levels up with you, it's kind of like, well,
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
yeah, you've got that option. You just have to click, that button, more options, and then fight the weaker thing. But there's just no reason to. You're gonna get bad loot. Yeah, Dodd. You have to equip your healing potions before combat to actually use them. So
To use them.
I actually
Okay.
don't even have them. She just told me a tip. Hey, brew some potions, equip them. Probably a good idea. Now's a good time to log out, and I can show my other character here. You can see where I've made no progression in Hope Forest, level 1 Scout, level 2
I gotcha.
Gathering, but you can see the
Hmm.
forage here. These are the tools. I actually don't have the net yet. I was saving up for it. It's expensive. But this is foraging, right? So you're just gathering like potatoes and periwinkles. Now you got to level up gathering. And what do you get? Dandelions, apples. Like if you're a really good forager, you're
Hmm.
probably going to be a pretty good gatherer, right?
Yeah.
Not in this game.
Right. Not in
Uh,
this game. Yeah.
Those are two totally different things. We'll go. I'll show you kind of what my equipment does when I go. You can see it here. This is the equipment I've gathered. You can see all your stuff that you're deflecting, like your resistances to. These are all the elements in the game. You got physical, and then there's like ice, and this is like grass, lightning, fire, and then this is, I guess, like death or poison. I'm not sure what they consider it.
Okay.
And these are the
Interesting.
weapons I have. Do-do-do-do. You can see these are death crows now. Just automatically changes them, and then here's the past action, and then we can change it to the other bird.
Oh, okay. I see. I see. Gotcha.
So we'll travel to Hope Forest. Took me maybe 4 hours to get to this point, Hope Forest.
Yeah.
And I was definitely like kind of taking my time. I was doing like a little bit of all the professions to get a feel for them, um, and getting some gear and stuff. And this right here is an outlaw level 0 now, and you can see my gear. It says episode 1 on it. So it's just like not good. You can see the
Mm.
stat, like the strength stat's gone.
Yeah.
So it's like you need to use something else. And right now I'm technically, I think, a scout. Now you can see right now there's a tree to cut, which I haven't done
Hmm.
any forestry. And there's lop and fell. Interesting. 43 to lop. And I need a handsaw and level 0 wood cutting to cut that tree. Interesting. I don't know where to get those tools yet. Haven't found it. Can't interact with the bunnies. When anytime you gather a new item or like you interact with a new item, whether it be like gathering or like you crafted a new potion you've never crafted, or you make a new food item you've never made before, you get a bit of a bonus experience. So you'll see a big jump in your experience. So you want to like go around and at least gather or craft everything once just to level up a little quicker. Um, There's bounties you can do to make extra money, like these bounty quests. There'll be a bounty board in town that I did pass over. The only one I found is in the kitchen where we were cooking. Um, those bacon sandwiches, and you'll see a bounty board in there, and you can accept quests, and they're all like some guy over in this edge of the town wants like 8 bacon sandwiches, and you'll turn those in for extra money and extra
Mm.
experience. But I think that's all I'm going to show. I think that's where I'm going to cut it. Gives everyone a pretty good idea of what to expect and whether or not this is a
Yeah.
game you want to try. Um, I really, really, really wanted this game to be fantastic. Because I was such a huge fan and am a huge fan of RuneScape. I'm actually still playing RuneScape.
Yeah.
Um, just with a new character. So I wanted this game to be. Uh, I'm not um, ecstatic about it as a whole. I was
Hmm.
pretty pumped for it. And it's definitely not what I wanted to be, but not every game has to be what I want it to be. I think some people are enjoying it, and I think that's great. Um,
Yeah.
but so far, I'm going to keep playing till I got the membership is $6, so I'll keep playing it and try and get to some of that membership content and get a better feel for it. Maybe change my mind about this profession thing. And I'll keep track over it, see how the early access goes, see what kind of changes they're doing. But I'll probably let the game simmer for a while after that
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
just see what they do.
Yeah. No, I mean, I could definitely. It definitely has like, generally not a game that I would specifically go out to play.
Yeah.
But being you showing it off and giving your first impressions of it and stuff like that, it makes me appreciate it because it definitely feels like they've got a lot of good bones for something really solid. They just
Yeah.
need to be able to, basically the tendons and muscle and really
Yeah.
figure it out how to put it all together. And so,
It's Andrew Gower, and I want him to be successful, so he keeps making content.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
but yeah, we'll see. There is I think in the settings, you can look at the credits, and this is the team, but you can see Andrew Gower. So a really small team.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But for a small team, I mean, they definitely have
It's
put some major work into it. You
what
can
has been
tell.
done. Yeah, what has been done is impressive. But
It's definitely something.
thanks for watching.